The river was still. The only movement rippling its surface was the reflection of the moon above. For the most part, the jungle slept. But some birds kept watch from the trees, and a troop of monkeys chattered nervously. Down below the water's surface, something stirred. Its eyes, two glowing embers, watched the riverbank, never blinking. This was the home territory of the giant crocodile, the largest predator in this part of the jungle. It had fought many battles over the years and was covered in scars. This time, it was waiting for something very specific. In a little while, the sun would rise and the watering hole would become active. The giant crocodile knew that every night the same thing happened. The wild buffalo came down to drink. These large, muscular creatures were no match for the powerful jaws of the crocodile, yet they kept coming back. The giant crocodile had injured one of these buffaloes the night before, and was waiting for it to return so it could finish it off. As the first rays of sunlight touched the tall grasses, the buffalo began to arrive. One by one, they came to drink, completely unaware of the danger lurking in the water. The giant crocodile did not move, but waited patiently. Then, when it judged the time was right, it exploded out of the water. Its jaws gaped wide, revealing the rows of sharp teeth inside. The buffalo closest to the water let out a surprised bellow and leaped away just in time to avoid being caught. But the other beasts were less fortunate. With a flick of its powerful tail, the giant crocodile sent waves crashing towards the shore. This gave the remaining buffalo no choice but to flee, splashing through the shallows and scattering into the tall grass. The giant crocodile gave chase, eager for blood. In a moment, the river ran red. The giant crocodile had caught one of the buffalo. It dragged it under the water and held it down with its powerful jaws. For a brief moment, the water stayed still before the giant crocodile surfaced again. Shaking its head, it let out a victorious roar that echoed through the trees. The other animals had watched this happen from a distance. Elephants, deer, and even lions had gathered to witness the incredible power of the giant crocodile. All of them knew that this monster was dangerous and that it upset the balance of the jungle. The Lion King let out a low growl. The elephant trumpeter, as if nature itself was upset by the beast. Then suddenly, the clouds gathered overhead and the sky grew dark. Thunder roared and the first drops of rain fell. A violent storm had arrived, turning the river into a torrent of raging water. The giant crocodile had always been a powerful force to be reckoned with, but now it was even more dangerous. It used the strong current to propel itself through the water, knocking down trees and dragging anything that came too close to its lair. The animals fled, desperately trying to stay ahead of the rising flood. The giant crocodile was in its element, feeling like a king surveying his flooded domain. Then it saw a herd of elephants trying to cross the river. The leader elephant trumpeted anxiously, trying to guide his family across to safety. The giant crocodile saw this as a challenge. It surged forward, jaws open wide, ready to snatch one of the young calves. The leader elephant charged forward, swinging his massive tusks like a battering ram. It crashed into the giant crocodile, sending water splashing into the air like an ocean storm. The impact knocked the breath out of the giant crocodile, but it quickly recovered and grabbed hold of the elephant's trunk with its jaws. The elephant roared in pain and anger and thrashed around wildly, trying to free itself from the grip of the crocodile. The giant crocodile held on tight and tried to drag the elephant under the water, but the trunk was too thick for it to chew through. Instead, it bit down hard and then slammed the elephant against the rocks, hoping to smash the bones inside. The elephant screamed again, but it was too loud a noise, and the giant crocodile was forced to let go. The two enemies stared at each other, chests heaving, and then the battle started again. As the storm raged overhead, another tree was uprooted and crashed down into the river. The giant crocodile panicked and tried to escape, but it was too late. The log landed on top of it, pinning it to the riverbed. The beast struggled to free itself, its jaws snapping, but the rushing floodwater dragged it downstream, disappearing into the darkness. Finally, the river was still once more. The rain had stopped, and the clouds had parted, revealing a bright blue sky. The animals returned to the riverbank. The elephants drank from the water hole, and the lions watched from the tall grasses. The deer returned to graze, and the monkeys chattered in the trees. Once again, the jungle was safe. But as the camera panned, far downstream, two glowing eyes emerged from the murky water. The giant crocodile was alive and waiting. The story of the giant crocodile may have ended, but the jungle's eternal struggle for balance and harmony continues. Will the mighty crocodile rise again to threaten the peace of the jungle? Or will nature's other creatures prevail? Only time will tell.